Ahoy there, everyone. I'm Captain Adam. Why don't you come thrifting with me? Come on, it'll be fun. Let's go. All right, here we go, folks. Another thrift store adventure. I wonder what we're going to find today. You never know. That's what makes this so much fun. Let's check out their incredible vinyl selection, which, I say that very sarcastically. It's about what I expect. The King and I soundtrack. Oh, a Bill Cosby album. Oh, that's pretty risque nowadays. West Side Story soundtrack. Another Bill Cosby. Why is there air? Oh boy, that's risky. Bread. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty good. Another Bread album. Interesting. Somebody had a nice Bread collection. Christian music. Back to Cool. I don't know what that is. Hawaiian favorites. That's interesting. And gospel album and Airborne. Whatever. I don't know what that is. 25 Songs of Christmas. Anthony Newley, Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. Lamb favorites. What the heck is Lamb favorites? Chrysler 300 book. That's interesting. We have here a Benny Hessler, whoever that is. Classical. Don't know what that is. I don't know. The vinyl selection just. It is what it is. Sometimes you can find some cool stuff, but not often, and sometimes it's not even worth looking. What are your thoughts on vinyl selections in thrift stores? Is it even worth looking through them? Is the juice worth the squeeze, as they say? So let's move on here. Let's take a quick look at their CD selection, which is most of the time meh. There's a Tesla CD there. That's pretty interesting. A big old collection of classical stuff of different composers. Interesting. Party songs, I tell you, Hell's Best Kept Secret. What is this? This little handwritten thing. Is this a demo for like a death metal band or something? I hope so. Oh, no, it's not. It's from, introduced by Kirk Cameron. That's an interesting thing. Not what I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. That 98 Degrees album is still there from last time. It's kind of a shocker. Let's see what else we got here. Nothing really... Garth Brooks. There's always Garth Brooks stuff here when I come here. So, the CDs sometimes are good. Most times, not so much. So let's move on here. All right, here's one of my favorite sections, the T-shirt section, which if you watched the previous thrift store adventure video, then you know my opinion on their weird pricing when it comes to T-shirts. It's all over the place. I mean, sometimes they're $2.99 like these are right here, but then other times they're like $10. It's like, well, what's going on here? They assess value depending on what's on it. And here's what I mean. Here's a Batman shirt, pretty cool Batman shirt. It's $7. See, they see like, oh, it's a pop culture thing, so we'll raise the price. That should be $3. Should be $4 maximum. See, all these shirts here are definitely like just $3 because they're, just nothing on them. Here's a Superman shirt. Let's test my theory once again. Superman, pop culture related. Let's see what we got here. And yes, $7. So yeah. That's what they do. Another Batman shirt, pretty cool Batman shirt. Let me guess, $7. Yep, $7. Oh, I hate being right all the time. Another Batman shirt. Let me guess, $7, right? Let's see. Where's the tag? Come on now. Where's the tag? $7? Yep, $7. $6.99. Okay. Simpson shirt, pop culture, right? $7? No, actually, that's actually $5. I'm very surprised. Still too much though. Too much. Yeah, yada yada yada. You got to go through a lot of crap to find some decent shirts. I have found plenty of cool shirts here in the past. It's just like a plain shirt for $5. That's probably way too much for that. Should just be $3. Let's see what else we have. Oh, and here's a shirt that I talked about in the previous thrift store adventure video, the South Park shirt that I said, hey, it was just, it was cool, but it was just too much. And surprise, surprise, it's still here because it's $7 and it really just should be $4, for heaven's sakes. Now, here's a cool shirt, one that I'm not going to get or really even that interested in. I just think it was neat, and this is why thrifting is fun, because here's a local promotion for Rogue One, the Star Wars movie that came out, I don't know how long ago, but still, this is kind of an old shirt. It's for the Hamilton Nissan dealership, which is a local Nissan car dealership. Only $5 for that. That's pretty good. I'm surprised because it's a Star Wars thing. I'm surprised it wasn't like $10. And this is cool. And like I said, a good example of some of the nice stuff you'll find in a thrift store just because it's very unique. This is like a triple market collector thing. Definitely cross collector market because it's Star Wars for one. It's automotive related. It's a local business. So, I mean, somebody's definitely going to snatch this up. And plus the price isn't too bad. So yeah, that's a pretty cool find. I like finding stuff like this. I like local promotions because it's unique. It's one of a kind. You can only find it in whatever particular region. So, all right, let's move on. Here's a interesting Mario Kart shirt. Not vintage by any means, but still neat. Yeah, $7. Yeah, pop culture, Mario. Yeah, make it $7. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, to tell you the truth, I sort of get where they're coming from, but it would make more sense if this was not a charity shop. Stop assessing value to this stuff. Just put a flat price on it depending on what kind of item it is, not what's on the item. It doesn't make any sense. This is not a comic book shop. It's not an antique store. It's not an auction house. It's a thrift store. And like I said in the last thrift store adventure video, their pricing doesn't make any sense because it's all up and down. And here's what I mean. Here, look at this. Here is another Mario Kart shirt, a different one, but hey, Mario's on it, so it's got to be pop culture related. It's got to be worth a lot of money, right? So let's put $7 on it. No, this is only $3. So, I mean, what are we doing back there? I mean, it just seems like their pricing is just so irregular. It seems like it depends on who's doing the pricing. So I said this in the last thrift store adventure video, where their pricing is, for one, it has a tendency to be a little bit too high, and it's also just so irregular. I don't know. It's really weird, and it's just kind of unprofessional. And I know you're probably saying, hey, if you don't like the prices, don't shop there. But the thing is, the prices aren't always like this. It's weird. Well, anyways, here's a pretty fun shirt. Chuck Norris's forecast. Cloudy with a 90% chance of pain. That's a pretty fun shirt. I might want to get that. Oh yeah, $7. Oh, I forgot. It's a cool shirt, so it's expensive. I mean, come on, guys. And you know, in all fairness, $7 probably isn't a lot for a t-shirt, but this is a used t-shirt that was donated to a thrift store. It should not be $7. It should be $4. That's all I'm saying. And again, it's just the irregularity of the pricing is what gets to me. I mean, some shirts are $3, some shirts are $5, some shirts are even $10, which is completely asinine for a thrift store. It doesn't make any sense to do things that way. It needs to be a flat price. That's like going into McDonald's and getting a hamburger one day for $1, and then the next day you get the same hamburger for $5, and they say, oh, it just depends on who's pricing the stuff in the back. It doesn't make any sense, and that's not a way to run a business. All right, I'll put down my gripe pipe for a minute, and I came across this shirt, a cool Dr. Pepper shirt. You never really see Dr. Pepper stuff out in the wild. It's usually just like Coke or Pepsi stuff, but Dr. Pepper, it's always cool to find Dr. Pepper stuff, and I'm a fan of beverage shirts. I just think they're neat, and this one's rather reasonably priced at $4.99, and well, I have no complaints here. I might get this. I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of Dr. Pepper stuff, so yeah, this is the kind of stuff I look for. Here's an interesting piece, a t-shirt that says "Better Dead Than Red." I don't come across, well, any anti-communism stuff in the wild or really anywhere, so this is pretty interesting to find that at Goodwill. And it's rather odd, but I always seem to come across at least one horror-themed t-shirt at these thrift stores, and here we have one for Halloween. I have many Halloween shirts in which I've gotten at this store. $7, a little pricey for this. All the ones I found in the past are $3, so that's totally reasonable. Rolling Stone shirt, that's pretty interesting. What we got? Let me guess, $7. Yep, $7. Oh boy, yep. If it's pop culture, you can guarantee it's going to be highly priced, and it's totally not worth that. And again, I say this is a relatively new thing. A lot of the shirts I have in my collections, especially the horror shirts, oddly enough, I just found for $3 at these stores. It was, I guess, before they said, hey, you have to look what's on the shirt. If it's something pop culture or horror related, it's got to be pricey. You know, that's a silly way to do stuff at a thrift store. Don't assess value at a thrift store. You just should not do that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I always say, thrift stores are not auction houses. They should not assess value. It should just be a flat price depending on what the item is, not what the item is of. That's just how they should do things. I don't know. That's how they always used to do things, but something happened, and now they're profiteers. That's weird. It's a weird move for a charitable organization. That's all I'm saying. And I also should reiterate here and say that all the shirts I find, none of them are vintage. They're all neo-vintage. I very, very, very seldom come across actual vintage clothing in the t-shirt section of thrift stores. So, you know, these are all like just relatively new stuff, which is why these sort of high prices, it's just, like I said, it's just too much, because these aren't valuable items. These are shirts that you could find at Hot Topic right now if you wanted to. You could pay like full retail price if you wanted to. So I guess given that fact, maybe that is a good price, but still, this stuff was donated for free. And that's another good point. Someone that bought these horror shirts that I found in the past here that were sold here for like $3. All of those, obviously, they were purchased at Hot Topic, because that's the kind of stuff Hot Topic sells. And Hot Topic's pricing isn't that cheap. Usually their shirts are about $20. So somebody got like a $20 like Bride of Chucky shirt, which I found here before, and they just gave it up for free. I don't understand that spending $20 on something and then just giving it away when you really could sell it on eBay. Now, I know a lot of people don't like dealing with eBay because it is sort of a pain in the neck, and their fee is a little weird, but still, it's better to get just something out of it. I mean, did you have to give it away for free? I mean, I guess some people just don't want to be bothered with eBay because, like I said, it is... can be a little tumultuous to deal with them, but still, it's, I don't know, I would have sold those shirts myself instead of donating them. But anyways, that is what it is, and let's move on. And here's the section I call the absolute crap section. Well, lovingly, of course. This is the loose toy section. That's pretty neat. Well, hold on. It's a big old Pteranodon toy for $3. Not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. But let's get back to this. What is this? This appears to be some kind of transformer thing. $6. I kind of thought that was going to be like $15 given this place, but so that's pretty neat. That's not a bad price, I guess. And this is the section of the thrift store where you're totally reminded to have hand sanitizer in your car, because this is a lot of grody stuff, a lot of booger-filled kids' hands have played with these loose toys. So, always take precautions. You don't want to get scabies. And there are plenty of cases where people do get some kind of weird bacteria or fungal infection from thrift store stuff. So it is always good to take precautions. It's always good to use protection. It really is. And this, again, I must say, I am very surprised it's not more than $6 for that, because it's a rather big item and Transformer related as far as I know. So I'm surprised they didn't put like $15 on it and put it in their jewel case. So, they do that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's move on. Here's a rather large Optimus Prime figure. Wow, $5. I'm very surprised there's not a bigger price tag on this given this place, and because it's obviously totally Transformer related. So I'm really surprised they didn't put like $10 or $15 on this or something. Missing one of the fists that is broken off. So this is broken. Again, another broken item they're selling. But still, I'm sure this is going to be gone next time I come here. Someone's going to snatch this up. Not a vintage Transformer thing by any means, but still, Transformer stuff always goes fast no matter where you are. So, there's this. And I don't even know what toy line this particular Transformer is from. There's so many Transformer stuff nowadays. I don't even know. And you know what? I guess I kind of don't care. All right, let's move on to this section that I always neglect, but not today. This is the board game section. The times I have frequented the board game section, I have found some pretty neat stuff, but I'm not a board game collector per se, so I don't know. I just don't go all in for this. This is an interesting Sorry Sliders game. $4, not bad. But look at the box is all beat up. It's got duct tape on it, for heaven's sakes. Look at this. Operation. Is this a vintage Operation board game? It certainly looks like it, but looks can be deceiving. Let's take a closer look here. Looks very vintage. The original design of the Operation game. $4. Not terrible. Not by any means. This looks very modern now. Oh, yeah, 2003. This is a neo-vintage retro piece meant to throw off collectors. So, that's no good. Just move on. Let's just move on. Oh, this is very interesting. The Snoopy snow cone machine. Who didn't have this growing up? Caution, functional sharp edge. If it has a warning label, it's definitely not vintage. $4. Wow, who would pay $22 for this brand new? That's kind of silly. This is a retro piece, neo vintage piece. This is not original whatsoever. It's even got a nutrition label on it. It's got a website on it. This is not vintage whatsoever. This is a retro. What is that? I have no idea what this is. Okay, I'm scared. Let's move on. Okay, here's the random bag section for the loose toys. And God bless anybody that actually has to organize this stuff. That must be a pain in the neck. Look at that. Nice little dinosaur bag there. What's that, a little weird He-Man thing? What even is that? I don't care. Forget it. Too much work. Let's see. This is a naked squishy man figure. It's rather weird. That's what makes this section so fun, is like it's just so random and strange. These bags filled with just random toys. Usually the price is about $4 to $6. Oh, there's a little hidden Halloween thing there. Oh, well, there's no helping them. Forget it. Let's move on. All right, here's their holiday section, which we went through last time in the last thrift store adventure. I always look through this little section. Oh, man, those are hideous jack-o'-lanterns. Some Thanksgiving stuff there, some spooky stuff, but not anything real interesting. Always have a lot of Christmas stuff here. Like I said in the last adventure video, I have found some pretty nifty vintage Christmas stuff here, and here's a good example. Here is in the box still a Nutcracker. They want $4 for it. That's not bad. This is there a year on this? I don't think there's a year, but it's Kmart Corporation, so this definitely is very old. Well, I would say in mid-90s. Part of their what was it? Their Trim-a-Home collection. Their little collection of Christmas decorations back in the 90s. So that's pretty cool. But I think I'll leave that there for somebody else. And let's move on. Once again, much like the last thrift store adventure, I find myself in the plate section, or kitchen wares section. I don't know why I'm here, but I always kind of look through this because there is some neat stuff here sometimes, like this, a little George Washington pitcher. Oh, heaven's sakes, they want $15 for it? What was that, a 2006? That's not even that vintage. My goodness, I'm not going to pay that much for a George Washington pitcher and/or gravy boat, even though it would be kind of neat to have. Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. Well, a bunch of pots and stuff. Let's get out of here. Here's the glasswares section. I always sort of just, meander around this. I have found some pretty cool glasses here sometimes, some cool vintage glasses. Oh, these are still here, the Mummy's sippy cup, the mummy-themed wine glasses for the bitter single mom. That was here on the last adventure, so no one's bought them yet. Interesting. Here is I guess what could best be described as the baubles section, where it's just little knickknacks and bric-a-bracs and just stuff that just set up around your house. It just clutters up everything, and that's why they end up here, because people just get sick of them and just donate them. So yeah, this look at this. This has seen better days. This is a Charlie Brown snow globe with what was the piano player? What was his name? Anyway, it's him. But look how yellow that water has become. It looks like pee-pee. So that's kind of a disgusting snow globe. I'm quite certain they're probably not going to sell that because it's gross. There's some little clown statuettes there. That's creepy. There's usually nothing really. There's some spooky stuff down there, but that's a little not really interesting. But yeah, this is not a bad section. It's usually worth it just to kind of meander around, because I have found once or twice I found some pretty interesting pieces, just weird stuff, like a lot of weird like pottery projects from like somebody's art class, and just weird stuff that you really couldn't find anywhere else. So it's pretty cool. This section's always it's always kind of worth it to look through, even though there's usually a lot of creepy dolls, which I never buy dolls. Well, I wouldn't anyway, would I? But yeah, that kind of stuff just really creeps me out. I'm not into that at all. So let's get out of here. Here's always a pretty fun section, the random bag section. Let's see what we got today. Ooh, there's a bunch of staples. A crap load of staples for $6. I'm not sure if that's a good deal or not. I'm not really privy to the staple market nowadays. There's some staplers, which will go right along with your more staples. Geez, Pete's, a lot of staples here. Interesting. What else we got here? Party napkins. A bunch of party napkins. Not really sure if that's a good deal or not. You can probably buy them new for the same price. I guess they are new anyway. Here's beer cozies. There's a Halloween beer cozy with a bunch of other beer cozies. And beer cozies usually are free anyway for like promotional gimmicks. So I don't know why you would pay for a bunch of beer cozies, but oh well. What do we got here? What's this thing? Hold on. What's this? A little squishy unicorn with a magical fart bubble coming out of his butt. That's interesting. Very interesting. I like the random bag section because of that. Indeed, all kinds of weird, interesting items here. Oh, and there's always some tapes. What we got today? Vince Gill and some Christmas stuff. It's always Christmas stuff. Always Christmas tapes and country music in the random bag section. More beer cozies for it's like an Ocean City restaurant. Again, that was probably given away free, so I don't know why you would pay for it now. Here's some more tapes. I'm guessing it's country music. What do we got here? I can't read from the glare. We got Wynonna Judd. Okay, yeah, basically all country here. Get out of the way. What do we got here? Best of Nashville. Yeah, all country stuff. That's all right. There's always a market for that. Audio cassettes are cool. Wow, a bunch of sunblock, used sunblock. I guarantee that's totally expired. If you were to use that, it would probably turn you into Rocky Dennis from Mask. So yeah, don't use expired sunblock. Here's an odd section I always like to frequent, and I don't know really how to describe it. I guess housewares. There's like a lot of display and shelving units and stuff like that, wall hangings and little stuff like this. This little wood carved statue of a Chinese guy. $10. What are you, insane? Come on, this is a thrift store. This isn't Pier 1 Imports. For heaven's sakes. So what's this doing in here? A little side-by-side little toy there. That's weird. In the last thrift store adventure video, I highlighted one of the things I found in this section, and it's still here, unfortunately. The little hand-painted medieval shield that obviously some kid made in summer camp with all of his heart and soul to give it to his mother, and she just turned around and donated it. So thanks, Mom. Here is the picture section, wall hanging stuff that you'd find in like Airbnbs and condominiums and timeshares. And here, this was here from the last one, that little band portrait. Hey, you know what? The update, the muskox portrait is gone. So somebody bought the muskox portrait from the last thrift store adventure, so good on you. Here's the electronics section, which is usually pretty interesting to look through if you ever wanted to. If you're in the market for a bunch of broken stuff, here's where you look. A lot of TVs with really no cables, AV cables. There are some, as you can see here, but still, it's probably not worth it. That's $5. I don't know. I mean, come on. There's not even a power supply to make sure it works. A pillow massager, yeah, that's gross. Let's see, a lot of DVD players, some printers. Again, I mean, it's like there's no, I mean, I don't know how you could tell this stuff works. There's not even any cables to test it. There's a Kodak printing, photography printing paper. There's that stereo with no speakers from the last thrift store adventure video. There is a rather old DVD player. That's interesting, an old JVC. Probably one of the first DVD players right there. Let's see, what is this? This is an absolute relic, the cordless way to email and get news. This is before smartphones. This is a Mevo cordless 250. It's a basically, I suppose it's like a BlackBerry for your desktop that just kind of plugs into your phone, your landline phone. This is so obsolete. It's incredible. I cannot believe this is here. I mean, someone's definitely going to snatch this up. Oh, a toaster oven. Let's get back to this little gem here. I mean, there is a huge market for vintage electronics, and this is certainly going to be bought very quickly, I can imagine. And with vintage electronics, the more obsolete, the better. And this certainly is just so obsolete. You can't even use this now. I don't even know how you could even test this out to make sure it works. But yeah, God bless anybody who buys this. I'm sure it's going to be bought. Interesting item here. And hey, sometimes you can find musical instruments right here at the old thrift store. And here's a little keyboard. Well, I guess it's not little. It's a pretty big keyboard. You know, yeah, look at that. One of the keys is broken. Not a lot of action left in these keys here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't need a keyboard. But what did they ask for? $10? I don't know. $10 for a broken keyboard. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be heading out here, making my way to the exit. Not too bad of a little adventure. Some interesting stuff. Nothing I really was too interested in, I should say. But yeah, before I go, let's check out the good old book section. Yes, the book section always worth checking out. I usually find some pretty neato stuff in here, at least I have in the past, but I don't think I'm going to today. Not too much interesting stuff here. Usually you find a lot of Tom Clancy stuff and a lot of Nora Roberts stuff, and well, just the usual fare, usual suspects when it comes to used books. Yeah, let's see, nothing. Halloween book there, but that's new stuff. Not really into new stuff. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. The last Thrift Store Adventure video I said about these vintage Nancy Drew books, and it looks like somebody did buy some of them. They didn't buy all of them. They really should have bought the whole set. I hate it when sets are broken up. You know what I mean? Ugh, Amy Schumer book. Ugh. Let's see, what's this here? Oh, Magic Tricks book. That's interesting. If only I had the patience to try to learn magic, which I certainly do not have the patience for that. I barely have patience to do this. So let's see what we got here. 50 Shades of Grey. Ugh, filth. Let's see. What's this? Stephen King stuff. What is this? Maintaining and repairing VCRs, the 3rd edition. Oh boy, this is a VCR repair book. This is a relic, and I am totally getting this. What is the publication date? What do we have here? Where is it? It's 93. Oh, you're coming with me, buddy. Well, that's going to put a bow on this little excursion, and what a bow it is. Let's pay for this stuff and get out of here. Well, that was pretty fun. Not too much interesting stuff in there today, but it's always a pretty good time just looking through. I did get that VCR book, of course I had to, and I did get that Dr. Pepper t-shirt. So I hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time right here on the VHS Pirate Ship. Bye. VHS Pirate Ship.